You spend hours at the gym, hoping discipline will finally create lasting change. You cut carbs, track every calorie, and follow every rule you think matters. But a few months pass, and somehow you end up right back where you began. This cycle is not proof of laziness, nor a sign you lack self-control. It happens because 95% of diets fail over the long term. Your body is wired to resist weight loss and quietly push you towards stability. When you drop weight, metabolism slows down far faster than most people realize. Hunger hormones like ghrelin rise sharply, making every craving feel louder than usual. Your biology does not care about summer goals or aesthetic aspirations at all. It cares only about survival, and survival means holding on to stored energy. Yet something fascinating appears when you look toward Japan. They hold one of the world's lowest obesity rates at just 4.5%. That number is almost 10 times lower than what we see across the United States, and still, they eat rice, noodles, and even small snacks almost every single day. So the question becomes impossible to ignore once you notice the contrast. What exactly is happening there that we are not seeing here? What do they understand about daily living that we repeatedly overlook? Because it is not genetics, despite what many people like to assume. Japanese and American genes are far more similar than most imagine. And it is not smoking habits either, since Japanese men smoke even more. It is definitely not the gym, because only 3% have memberships. Something else is shaping their bodies, something quieter and far more intentional. The answer is not about trying harder or pushing your willpower endlessly. The Japanese stay slim because their daily environment quietly supports healthier defaults. Their habits are shaped by design, not constant discipline or restrictive effort. And once you see this clearly, something important begins to shift inside you. You realize the challenge was never about personal strength in the first place. It has always been about the structures surrounding you, guiding your choices silently. Here are 9 science-backed habits from Japan that reshape your relationship with food. Habits that help you stay lighter without starving yourself or living in a gym. Habit 1. Train your taste. Early. In Japan, taste education begins early, long before habits become hard to change. School lunches are planned by nutritionists and prepared fresh every single day. Children eat rice, vegetables, fish, and simple flavors that shape their expectations naturally. There are no vending machines offering processed snacks or sugary quick comforts. Growing up this way teaches the palate to recognize real food as normal and satisfying. Meanwhile, many American school lunches are built for profit, not nourishment or balance. Tater tots, chicken nuggets, and chocolate milk become the familiar daily pattern. These foods train the brain to crave sugar, salt, and constant stimulation. The lesson is simple but powerful. Taste is a habit you can rewrite anytime. Start by replacing one processed item each week with something fresh and unaltered. Slowly, your brain begins craving the foods your body actually understands. Habit 2. Healthy convenience. Japan has 15 times more convenience stores than the United States. But what they offer is completely different from the usual fast food expectation. Their quick meals are rice bowls with grilled fish, tofu, or warm miso soup. Not burgers, oversized burritos, or heavily processed grab-and-go options. Convenience in Japan means accessible, simple, and nourishing by default. In psychology, this principle is known as environmental design. We think we choose freely, yet our surroundings quietly choose for us. Japan simply makes the healthier path the easiest one to follow daily. If you want to eat better, stop battling your cravings directly. Begin by changing what your environment makes effortless to reach. Habit 3. Gentle portion control. Japanese culture places a quiet value on moderation in everyday eating. They practice harahachi-bu, the habit of stopping when about 80% full. Meals are served in smaller dishes, each offering a different texture and flavor. Rice, soup, fish, and vegetables create variety that feels abundant, not restrictive. This approach helps the brain believe the meal is complete without overeating. There are no giant sodas, oversized plates, or endless drink refills normalizing excess. Portion size directly shapes hunger because the mind responds to what is presented. Psychologists call this the unit bias, the tendency to feel satisfied when finishing a portion. Smaller plates naturally lead to fewer calories while avoiding any sense of deprivation. Habit 4. Sugar awareness. Another key difference is how little sugar the average Japanese person consumes. Their intake is roughly half of what the typical American eats in a single day. Even their drinks are smaller, with soda cans only 150 milliliters. Desserts are tiny but crafted beautifully, offering pleasure through experience, not volume. Satisfaction comes from attention, taste, and presence, rather than oversized portions. Research shows reducing sugar by 40% resets how sweet things feel over time. Your palate grows sharper, and sweetness becomes naturally more intense again. A simple way to start is replacing one sugary drink with calming green tea. It has no calories, lowers stress gently, and may support your metabolism. Habit 5. Structured eating. Most Japanese people eat 3 main meals at predictable times every day. Breakfast is usually finished before 9, lunch before 1, and dinner before 8. This steady rhythm helps the body regulate hunger hormones more effectively. A stable schedule prevents random snacking driven by stress or emotional impulses. When your eating pattern is chaotic, your brain reaches for whatever sits nearby, and those nearby options are often the least supportive for long-term health. Predictability becomes a quiet form of discipline that feels gentle, not forced. Start by choosing fixed meal times, even if the meals stay simple at first. With time, you will notice cravings soften and your choices become calmer. Habit 6. Natural movement. Another major difference is how the Japanese approach physical activity each day. Most do not rely on structured workouts or intense training sessions to stay healthy. Instead, they weave small movements naturally into the rhythm of daily life. They walk to the train, climb stairs, and often bike to work without thinking. Science calls this NEAT, the calories burned through non-exercise activity. These simple movements accumulate over hours and quietly reshape the body. There is no pressure, no guilt, just motion integrated into ordinary living. This natural flow keeps energy steady without forcing strict fitness routines. Habit slow eating. Eating with chopsticks naturally slows the pace of each meal in Japan. This slower rhythm lets the brain register fullness before overeating begins. It takes about 20 minutes for the body to send a true satiety signal. Rushing through meals bypasses this signal and leads to unnecessary extra bites. If you do not use chopsticks, a simple practice offers the same effect. Put your fork down between bites and pause long enough to taste fully. Chew, breathe, and notice the textures rather than moving automatically. You will naturally eat less and feel lighter without forcing restriction. Habit 8. Respect the meal. In Japan, people rarely eat while walking, rushing, or multitasking through their day. Meals are treated as small moments of respect, almost like quiet daily ceremonies. There are no phones, no scrolling, and no distractions pulling the mind elsewhere. This mindful attention strengthens the connection between hunger, fullness, and satisfaction. When you eat slowly and intentionally, your body's signals become clearer and steadier. Mindfulness during meals reduces overeating because you finally hear what the body says. The Japanese secret is not a hidden diet, but a different way of relating to food. The Japanese approach is not built on restriction or battling your own body. It is shaped by balance, rhythm, and quiet respect for everyday choices. When you stop fighting yourself, staying slim no longer feels like a constant struggle. It becomes a natural outcome of living in harmony with your body's signals. These habits are less about effort and more about awareness and intentional design. You begin to see that small shifts in environment change far more than willpower. So consider which habit feels doable for you to try first this week. And if you enjoy exploring how culture can shape psychology, keep following along.